All right. We're live with Shitlords Unite. So this is the 24th edition. Wanted to talk about the PewDiePie and the whole media thing, since we've been with the whole media stuff since Gamergate and all that stuff. We're gonna talk about like two main topics, which are like the Trump ban on that, and how media has been treating like just gamers, but also like going after PewDiePie with outright lies. So we can, I think we can kind of start with the Trump ban. What do you think about the Trump ban?
Personally, I don't really have much of a problem with it. It like obviously you could make plenty of decent arguments about why he shouldn't ban them, mainly because it makes him look bad. But in the long run, I think it's the only thing he really could do that would get him anywhere. Because most situations that Trump is put in anymore, at least to the public through the media, is a lose-lose situation, anyways. Because the media are going to make him look bad no matter what he does. So in the long run, his best interest is to just not give them any more attention and to basically keep them out of the loop. So that way, if they're not in the loop anymore, then it should be quite obvious that they're talking out of their asses because they're no longer at the press conferences or anything like that if he keeps them from there. And I can't remember who in the Discord brought it up, but it's basically not feeding the trolls. You don't engage them, you don't address their arguments, you don't bring them up to your level. It's that simple.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of arguments saying this, even from the outlets themselves, saying that it's basically censoring and limiting free speech, but that would mean all the other outlets all over United States should have been invited to the press conference as well, which they're not.
Right.
They don't really have a case. Uh, they can still report whatever they want about Trump.
Which is what they're going to do anyways.
Yeah. So at what the whole issue is there. I mean, we could talk about what Trump is actually doing in an honest way, and focus on that. But the media can't even do that so far because they have to screw everything up. Like, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? They were talking about how Trump ordered a fucking steak with ketchup. Like, cares?
Yeah, why is that the main topic that you want to talk about when he's actually doing things that are fucking up the country? Like he's done some good things, but he's done a lot of really fucking stupid things. When he's actually done really dumb things, you should stay on that. You should nail that into his coffin. Don't start going, oh, you had ketchup on your steak. Ugh. It's just as bad as the people that are going, oh my god, Obama likes Dijon mustard. Ugh.
And also like the Kellyanne, what's her name? Kellyanne
Kellyanne Conway
Conway. Is it that?
sitting on that fucking couch.
Her.
She's so unladylike. Yeah, well, too fucking bad.
Yeah, like I just searched Obama and I found several pictures of him having his feet on the table in the Oval Office. Like, who the fuck cares?
Right.
This is so freaking stupid. So we have it wouldn't be any issue to criticize Trump legitimately on several of what he has actually done. But instead of doing this, the press is so retarded and ridiculous that they're just gonna double down and say, "Oh, it's free speech." They're still infringing on our First Amendment rights. That he's evil and all that stupid crap.
Well, see, they're
It,
also ignoring a lot of the shit that CNN is doing too, because they're basically trying to obfuscate what they're doing to make Trump look like the problem, because while like we can all agree that Trump, you know, just says shit that probably isn't freaking relevant to the conversation. I don't remember whether it was just a press conference or what he was at, where he basically just made an offhand remark about CNN in an answer to someone's question, and then a reporter from CNN jumped up and says, in short, you're attacking my organization. Give us a question. Give us a question. That's disrespectful. Give us a question. And it was basically just a shouting match between him and Trump, where Trump was actually staying fairly calm about him and basically just saying, like, you're fake news, sit down. And then after that, like, he just wouldn't listen to him. And Trump was just like, nope, sit down, nope, sit down. And I don't remember if he ever had him escorted out. I don't think they did. But, like, when it gets to that point where
Yeah.
you're like you can make all the arguments you want that Trump was being disrespectful, but like the Democrats' motto apparently is when they go low, we go high. Well, you know what? All you're doing is just making it a shit fest. And it's actually kind of funny because Trump actually took the high road in that one compared to you, because he actually kept his fucking temper and he didn't just go on a fucking tirade about you. He basically made one offhand comment about you, and then when you fucking poked your head up, he made another comment and then left it at that to move on. But you threw a temper tantrum and just kept trying to go, no, we want a question. You're insulting us. Give us a question, which is holding up the conversation other journalists are wanting to have, and also keeping the conversation from fucking moving on to actual important topics. So, like, when you get to that point, I don't think you need to be invited back. Fuck you, CNN.
Yeah, not only CNN. Let's see, it was Guardian as well.
Yeah, it was CNN, Politico. I think it was the Guardian, and then I think Wall Street Journal or New York Post or something like that. And like
New
CNN, I
York
can
Times.
understand. CNN and New York Times, I can somewhat understand, but like Politico and Guardian, isn't Guardian mainly just like opinion pieces and stuff?
Well, Guardian is pretty much just only op-eds at this point, because
Right.
they don't even report news accurately anymore, and they're very, very, very left wing. So
Yeah,
I have the list
that's
here.
my opinion.
Huh?
Yeah, I was saying that's basically my thoughts on it. It's like they basically like they try and cover news, but it's mostly just opinions and stuff. It's not actual reporting.
Yeah. Let's see. Um, Guardian, the New York Times, Politico, CNN, BuzzFeed, the BBC, Daily Mail.
Well, BuzzFeed, we can all agree on, I think.
BuzzFeed is cancer, so
And
and
isn't
it
Daily
says more.
Mail
I'm
this
just.
version of BuzzFeed? That's what I've heard,
I don't
anyways.
think the Daily Mail isn't that bad, to be honest. They actually have a lot of good articles. So I
Hmm.
don't really know why they were. They're not the best, but they're certainly
Right.
not in the league with BuzzFeed and CNN. I'm willing to admit that. They are bad in some articles, though, but they're not in that league, to say the least. So we also had the whole Sean Spicer thing when we all are big boys and girls. Put your hand up when you have a question or something. One during one of the sessions with the press in the White House, which like probably a big douche, but
You there?
that stuff. Like, huh?
You cut out for a minute. Like there was a
Oh,
good solid 15 seconds of silence there for a second.
I said, well, they're making Sean Spicer look like a really competent person. When he's basically saying, you should put your hands up like a big boy, when you're gonna ask a question.
Right.
And like Sean Spicer is far from like the best person in the White House or the
Like,
most
isn't he,
competent,
isn't
but
he the first
they're,
one that
they're
said don't ban the press, and then he bans the press? Like we can all admire the irony in that, but like still.
Yeah, because it just makes them look more sane and logical than they really are. Because when you can even can't have a rational discussion about things, and they're being this stupid, it boggles my mind. I can't remember who I saw a video I saw, but I think summed it up very well. I wish I could remember who said this, but the last 8 years, the media has pretty much been silent on all this stuff, and now they have Trump, and they can unleash all of their 8 years of frustration on this one guy. I think this also has something to do with it. They couldn't throw like sexism or racism because of Obama and Hillary Clinton. They have a perfect target because of the so-called grabbing by the pussy.
Right. Yeah, the other thing too
So
is that, like, I don't remember if Fox News was ever like banned, but I seem to remember there being a debacle back in either Obama's first or second term. I think it was the second term.
I think it
Where
was the first actually.
really where they basically just didn't invite Fox News because they were considered entertainment and not news, and or they had left a sign. I remember it was something about a sign at the table reserved for Fox Entertainment or something like that. And it was like, it was like borderline banning because it was like, they're not really news. And you could, like, it was in the back of their minds, should we ban them? Type of thing. And I'm pretty sure it was probably talked about too. But, we didn't really hear any of this uproar back then either.
Well, back then they all accused him all this crap of him being a Muslim and hating America and all this sort of crap. Like they were just as ridiculous as the far left is now.
Right.
So yeah. So the pendulum has swung pretty far back now.
Oh, yeah.
Um, okay, always gonna come back to this, that if people could just have sit down and have a conversation with each other, this would be as big of a problem as it is right now. I saw an episode of Arrow, the TV series, and usually these TV shows do a really freaking bad job at starting conversation or doing a very reflective episode on politics. But in this instance, they actually did a good job because they were basically talking about the Second Amendment. Had a very well reasoning because they showed both sides and basically just said we should come together and actually discuss things instead of just throwing crap in the media and being unreasonable. That was the whole point of the episode, and they did it really well. And when a show like that does it better than the actual media, it kind of says something.
Right.
I don't know what you think of it. I don't know if you watch Arrow or anything like that.
No, I don't keep up with it. But
Okay.
yeah, it is kind of interesting though that like some movies and TV shows and even some web comics can do certain shit better than the actual media can do it. That should be doing this. They should be the ones that are out there actively trying to make themselves better at it because it's their fucking bottom line. But no, they're not interested.
Yeah, I also look at it as a duty. When you are a journalist, you're the one with all the information, and you have to be objective and the information and let them decide. But that's not what they're doing. They're just giving an agenda filled or their own opinion with agenda and a little bit of information sprinkled in here and there, and people can't and they don't know what the actual is, because it's so it's hidden between all this mumbo jumbo that's full of this propaganda and agenda filled nonsense that people just don't trust the media anymore. I mean, isn't it like 10%, one in 10 that trust the mainstream media? It's something like that. So the mainstream media has a worse approval rating than actual Trump has, even though they love to throw that out. And we also have like PewDiePie, who got attacked by Wall Street Journal, and well, basically all other media as well, because when they can use a pejorative or a label like Nazi, they're gonna pull that trigger and use it for all the ad money and the clicks they can get from that. You think about the whole PewDiePie situation?
I think that people are intentionally blowing it out of proportion, because while we can all agree that PewDiePie is intentionally inflammatory a lot of the time, he did not say, kill all the niggers or anything like that. Because upon my actually looking into the topic, from my understanding, there's a website out there that you can basically you can do shit for $5 or whatever. Like you can put
Yeah,
up
Fiverr.
$5 and then have a requirement for it or something like that. And basically, what he did is he put up $5 and said, "Do the most stupid or like insensitive or offensive shit, and you'll get this $5." And what ended up happening is some black people held up a sign that it said "Kill all the niggers," and it's like,
No,
okay, yeah,
well,
what?
it was more like there were some Indians, and well, basically, they if they get there's always some kind of thing you can do for $5. So people just take the assignment and then they do the thing that's in, so they get the $5. And then in this instance, it was two Indian guys who said kill all the Jews, subscribe to Keemstar, and PewDiePie wanted to prove that they should fix their site and rules, because they can make anyone do literally anything, and that's what happened. And well, and then those two Indians got banned because they actually did it. But PewDiePie said, "What are you doing? I was just trying to prove a point. If anything, just ban me." You also had sites like with him in a like Nazi uniform, watching Hitler. When basically what he said in that video was, "Please stop taking things out of context. I'm not a racist, etc., etc." And then he made a joke like that. It would be me like talking about something, not taking things out of context. And then me sitting in front of video, just watching Hitler, and people taking it out of context, and that's what happened.
Yeah, basically, people just fucking do it just to get some views.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we've you and me, we've been with Gamergate since like 2014, and we've seen this crap, but it's actually become worse.
Yeah, in a lot of respects, it's become better, but in a lot of respects, it's become worse too. So
3 years afterward, I don't know what you feel. Do you see the media becoming better?
no, if anything, I see like certain parts of the media becoming better. But that's mainly because the people that used to be in there are no longer in there, because they're either getting arrested or fired, and someone else is taking their place and actually doing something better. Um, but like it's literally one of those things where the media is only going to be as good as the people that are in it. Um, because like let's say you replaced everyone at BuzzFeed with someone different. It doesn't even matter who, and they suddenly turned around and started making BuzzFeed better again. That can just as easily go right back down the drain if everyone got replaced again. It really does matter who's at there. And so, I can't remember the place that was doing slightly better. I don't remember. There was a publication that was somewhat infamous in Gamergate that's doing a little bit better, because some of the reporters are no longer there. And it's just one of those things where, huh?
Escapist or maybe game ranks.
I think it might have been Game Ranks. But that's literally just one of those, oh, hey, the last guy got fired for this, I'm not going to do that. Well, then if the next guy gets fired for a different reason, oh, well, that guy got fired for this, I'm not going to do that. And it could be back to what it was the first time. And it could be just as bad. And so it's one of those things where I don't think you're ever going to completely fix media, because it's how society wants it. And it's a mixture of does society want the truth, or does it want comfortable lies? And then it's also a mixture of that and how the people that are in the company want to run it. Because if they want to run it a certain way because they know that a certain narrative is selling better than another one, that's how they're going to fucking run it. But there's always a slight amount of autonomy within that certain reporters can do. And unless something like that changes within the company, it might be better sometimes than not. But more to the point, I don't think the media is ever going to be completely fixed. It'll just be slightly less shit or slightly more shit, depending on who's working there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Um, but I mean, if the people on top are still doing a lot of crap, it doesn't really matter who they're replaced with if the editor in chief or whoever is owning is gonna decide what's gonna be printed. Like, I don't ever see Kotaku becoming better unless staff gets replaced.
Right.
Unless there's a change from bottom to the top. I don't see Kotaku, Polygon, or any of these major outlets and mainstream outlets like CNN, even BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed is so cancerous right now. Them there being any change at all, because they've all been spewing the same crap for so long that I just can't take them seriously anymore. When you have YouTubers, I mean, Jesus Christ, PewDiePie is more credible than CNN right now. What the fuck has happened? A guy who basically for the last basically just played shitty games and screamed like a little girl and got millions of views, now become a more legitimate source of news and facts than these supposed news outlets. That just it boggles my mind. Like, I would rather YouTube or some smaller sites than go and watch CNN or
Well, you went robot real fucking.
watch. Oh, how much did you miss?
Most of that. The last 10 seconds of it.
Okay. Well, what I was saying was, I've been trying to watch BBC and CNN legitimately, and I just can't stand to watch them because there's no real discussion. I mean, the media here is actually pretty good, to be honest, because they
You went robot again.
like that now.
Okay, so you're back now.
Okay. Well, we have debates here in our country, which is pretty good. But when CNN has a panel, they're usually just yes men, basically, says repeating the same crap all over again. It's like the Fox News like 10 years ago, where they basically were just repeating each other and basically an echo chamber, and that's what's most of the media has become now. And Fox News is the out of all of the news, or not all of them, but yeah, news, which just boggles my mind.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because even though like Fox News is clearly still biased because they're still fucking slobbing Trump's knob a lot, they they have obviously become more, at least in terms of how often it happens, much more reliable than they were in the past. And this is not like any surprise, because obviously anytime there's a candidate that the bottom line supports, they're going to be slobbing his knob. But anytime there's a candidate that the bottom line doesn't support, they're going to be going, he sucks, piece of shit. And they're gonna do whatever they fucking want to do and write whatever they want to write to make that the case. This is true for both CNN and Fox News. They're both doing exactly the same shit, just on different spectrums of the fucking political compass. And so, like, the Fox News, as I said, while they're not completely trustworthy, they're more likely to cover Trump more accurately and fairly than CNN is. And CNN would have been more likely to fairly and accurately cover Obama than Fox would have been. It's just how things work, apparently. It's really fucking stupid that has to be the case, but it is.
Yeah, the media has just become like, which side of the aisle do you lean towards, and you just report news from that instead of like real news I can look at is probably Reuters or AP, because or Associated Press, because they basically just either interview people, they just report the news like this.
You went robot again.
As far as I can better now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Well, yeah, because Reuters and AP, Associated Press, are better in that regard, because they don't water down the facts. Just report what happened. Like, say there's someone who got murdered. They say someone murdered. Police said this, and that's the press or what's getting reported. So those are pretty much the only ones I trust when it comes to mainstream media. I don't know. Is there anything you can trust?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah, I'm here. It's just I just don't get why people have such a hard time understanding how the media operates in this regard. And like, to some extent, I don't think we're ever going to fully understand it, but like, I just don't understand how people don't like understand this. The media is interested in its bottom line, and right now, while they may report some truthful things, it's quite clear that they are not solely interested in reporting truth or only the truth. They're going to get what they want. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah. Um. I mean. Um. Well, that's why these news channels are dying. Is your mic muting, or you mute?
Yeah, my mic, because I had some background noise going on.
Okay. Um. That and well, this is also kind of stupid if they only look at the bottom dollar, because like the mainstream media is becoming irrelevant. You see how Guardian is doing. They're tanking. New York Times, like $40 million. They lost $40 million last year. So something big like that. And if they're looking at the bottom dollar, they're losing a lot of money because of the crap they're doing. So hey Vindicator, let me know if you want to end. I tried to reach you on Discord, but you never answer there. Anyways, I mean, you've seen the numbers, right, Archon, with how much they're losing money.
Oh yeah, I've seen that shit. They've lost a lot. Like I don't think they're ever going to go under because of this, but they've lost a lot of respect from people.
Yeah, and people are no longer going to the sites, and right, because of they just can trust them. I mean, Guardian is now shilling like oh, he can't stream. Okay, let's try it one time when it works for you. Anyways, well, because of all the crap these people have said, and like going after the biggest YouTuber is shooting themselves at in both of their knees, like with a shotgun. It's retarded to have like 50 million people being aware that you just made a hit piece on them. Is the stupidest thing you can ever do. You might get like 10 million hits on that one article, but after that it just stops. I get clicks after that.
Yeah.
So they're extremely short term. They look at this stuff like, I'll just get one clickbait article and just get as many clicks as possible, instead of trying to get people invested, getting people back, making people trust what you write. Even if it's just an op-ed, what are you writing? Is there any truth to anything you're writing? And well, I mean, if you're transparent, people are gonna go with you and trust you, because you've already said where you're coming from. Like if you're disguising yourselves just as news, but you're coming from a far right or far left like a position of in politics, people are gonna get fed up with that, like saying everyone is a Nazi or racist, homophobe, transphobe, Islamophobic, yeah, whatever buzzword or weasel word you can enter here.
Yeah, they don't seem to understand that insulting the people that actually give them the money and give them the views and popularity that keeps them afloat, that insulting that group of people is not the smartest fucking thing. You're not going to be able to piss off every single one of them to the point where they stop giving you views 100%. You're not going to help yourself any further. Like, you're severely shooting yourself in the foot with that shit.
Yeah, and instead of looking at it long term and like slowly building your viewership over time. I mean, it's like I say, Niche Gamer and Tech Raptor 2 years ago, but slowly building over time by being using trust and being truthful.
And just having
What I
integrity in general.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to do a video on this, but I'm gonna just talk about it now, because I see if someone fucks up, or a site fucks up, I can see the character and the strength on integrity of that person on the site is how they handle up. If you made a major screw up, if you like admit it and just say you're gonna try to avoid this in the future, I'm sorry. Character, ignore what you just did and gonna continue. It shows how much what kind of character, or what character you have. Um, I did an interview with statistician, and he said, "Yeah, I fucked up. I'm gonna try to avoid this in the future, and I'm gonna move on." That shows me a strong character, opinion. And when we have this uh, attitude, like in social media and all that kinds of stuff, if you make one mistake, you get freaking crucified. Like the Milo thing. I think what he said was for fucking stupid. Like if you fuck up, how you handle it is what kind of attracts me towards what do you have to say, and what do you have to offer when it comes to ideas and arguments. So I don't know. Do you agree with that, or do you have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, I agree. Like the showing how you handle when you fuck up is a really good way of judging your character. Um, and it's kind of interesting you bring that up because I forget his name. It was some dipshit that was really early on with Gamergate on the anti-Gamergate side. I want to say Klinsman or something like that. He was a host or a speaker on a podcast, I believe, or on a radio show, and he just recently got arrested for, I believe it was rape, or he got accused of rape or something like that. I forget because it's been a couple days, but basically he got removed. Well, he didn't get removed, but they basically asked him to basically leave, and he agreed that he would. But then when they asked him to, go into detail about what happened and apologize, because on their end, that's what they do. Even if they aren't actually guilty, you're supposed to apologize because, oh yeah, I'm just a bad white male. Well, he didn't fucking do that. Well, it's one of those things where maybe he subconsciously fucking knows that he didn't actually do that, and so he didn't feel the need to apologize for it. But then again, if he actually did fucking do it and he's not apologizing for it, that would definitely show what kind of character he has. Then again, if he actually did fucking rape someone or something like that, then I think that right there
Well,
would be a good indication.
well, we have three people. We have Matt Hickey, we have that Devin Ferrazzi, and now that third guy from all the anti-Gamergate side claiming all gamers are rapists, and or like all this kind of stuff that was thrown our way. And now they're the ones getting either fired or charged with all this stuff. I just find it really ironic.
Yeah.
And Vindicator says in the chat, when he's mentioning the Sweden thing, Sweden was on fire via rioting refugees, and the media reported on Trump being evil because he had ketchup with steak. Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. And because I live next to that country, like they call that area Little Mogadishu, and there have been reporters from ABC Australia, I believe, that were assaulted. All of the other reporters who did sound and filmed and stuff like that, they were assaulted by the people there. Well, there was the Norwegian, like basically the equivalent of BBC, was there. They interviewed an economist, and they were basically chased out and threatened, and they had to leave because they were just talking. So they can't even talk there without
And you went robot again.
being threats.
There we go.
It's mostly an Islamic neighborhood there, so I'm not surprised that it was actually there. I mean, and everything and everyone didn't report on the riots. They just focused on how wrong Trump was. Oh, in Sweden last night, I think he was referring to some program he saw, something like that, on the TV. I'm not sure, but it just shows how stupid the media is. Oh, we were gonna ridicule it, and like the day after there are fucking riots in Sweden. Like, way to prove his fucking point.
Yep.
Like, how stupid can you guess?
Apparently pretty stupid.
Yeah, and with social media right now, there's no longer any monopoly on truth. Like, you can get more facts to people on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and looking at videos yourself instead of edited versions on CNN. Um, which they shouldn't to begin with, but that's where we are right now.
Yep.
Sorry, I've been talking way too much. But this whole comes down to, like, if people could have honest conversations, and like this is one of the reasons, at least in my observation and my opinion, why Trump got voted in as president, because nobody was willing to listen to people and just said and hated Muslims. How you experience, because you were actually a citizen of the United States, but just looking from the outside in, did a terrible job as well during the election.
Oh, during the election, yeah. It was just fucking ridiculous. I try not to watch TV just as a rule, but like just from what I was seeing on like YouTube and talked about on like channels that were streaming and talking about it, like from the ads to the actual discussion, it was just fucking maddening. Because Trump would say certain things and they wouldn't even be fucking addressed, and they would hone in on the most minuscule fucking things like the grab her by the pussy shit. And it's like, sure, he's a fucking asshole, but let's address what he's gonna fucking do while he's in office, because that's a bigger threat. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
It's basically
so
the same thing as what they're doing now. It's just that it's a lot more severe now, because it's like, because before it's like, okay, here's a candidate for president that you're doing this stupid shit to, and now that he's the president, you're still doing this stupid shit and you haven't changed. Why haven't you changed? Why are you not being more, like, detailed and being more hard hitting? You call it hard hitting, but it doesn't look like that to us, dumbass.
like, yeah, and you said it also earlier. You could nail Trump to the wall with some of the stuff he's actually done and not said, but they're not doing it. It wouldn't actually be hard. You just look what he signed, go through the fine print and what it actually says, and just criticize him what he's actually signed. It wouldn't be that hard. Like,
It's actually kind of funny because I remember back. I remember watching a video that was comparing Obama when he was running against Hillary on his first term, for his first term in, and he was bringing up all these fucking things about Hillary and stuff, and then he was comparing him to now when he was praising Hillary and shit. But like on his first time through, he was listening through all these things. Hillary has done X, Y, and Z. She is the person that gives the most amount of money to X group for Y cause. And he was just going through this list of shit she's done. Not stuff she said, not stupid shit. He was actually addressing what she's done and what she supports. That's actually something the media should take a page out of and start fucking doing. Start looking at what he's doing. Start looking at what he supports, not what he's talking about, not how he acts. Sure, you can give him shit all fucking day about how he acts, but that's not going to stop him from fucking acting that way. That's not going to make people actively, fight against him and go, no, we are not going to fucking take this shit anymore. The only thing that's going to make people actually get outraged and take action is by talking about the problems. And the only and like a perfect example of this is the fucking not SOPA and PIPA, what's it called? TPP. TPP and the whole net neutrality topic was a huge thing for a long time, for a number of just months straight. There were a lot of fucking people that were just pissed off about that kind of shit. And you'd see streams. You'd see. I think I was part of like at least 2 or 3 streams with like JT and a couple other people going over like the actual text. We would actually read through certain pages of the law, and kind of digest it, and okay, what is this actually saying? Let's translate this from the legal jargon to what this actually means for people. And it's stuff like that that gets people motivated, because when you actually go into what the law says and really look at it and digest what it means, you start to realize, holy shit, this is a problem. We cannot let this happen. And so when you just leave it at surface level bullshit, like, oh, he likes his steak with ketchup, Dijon mustard, when you just do this surface level fucking like pissant glove slapping, I challenge you to a duel bullshit, it's not getting anywhere with anyone or anything, and it doesn't change anything. Fuck off. Jesus.
Yeah, like how we went with the whole through the whole Apple thing. Like,
yeah,
people can rewatch that thing. We went through the documents of the case of why the FBI shouldn't be able to basically have carte blanche on everyone's phones and just receive the code.
well,
And
it wasn't even that. It was the case about why the court declined the FBI be allowed to access or have code written for the iPhone by Apple.
Yeah.
And I remember we went through the specific court documents that said that, like the FBI already had a method around this. It's just that it was not fast enough to their liking. And we were basically like, too fucking bad, dumbass. If you already have the method, then you can get into it, no fucking problem. Like, you don't need to have an ability to violate someone's rights just because it's not fast enough. Too bad.
Yeah, and if the two of us, two schmucks on some random schmucks on the internet, can go through the documents and explain why, in depth, I think we went for 2 hours or so, talking about how.
For 3.
Well, however we went in depth. People can rewatch it whenever they want, which is on my channel, and they can understand what we're talking about. Where we linked the actual document, and they can go through it with us. So that if they have problems, they can just understand. It's not that hard to actually do. And these are so-called people who have done 3-5 years in college, and I've been actually educated on this stuff, but can't. All they're writing about is that Trump likes his steak well done and orders it with ketchup. Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it's funny too, because like I remember back when I think it was just before he was getting elected, just before he was officially elected, or it was after he had just been elected or something, where he basically ditched the security detail, and they were like, oh my god, he ditched us, because the press couldn't fucking follow him and report on what he was doing and shit. I can fucking agree that, the press should be there just in case the president gets assassinated and he wants to give like, a last word to his family or something like that, or if something important happens and they need his comment. I can understand that. But like, he's going to fucking dinner and nothing fucking happened. Nothing happened that he would get killed or anything like that. And I know there can be this slippery slope argument, but you don't know that. Irrelevant right now. They were fucking butthurt as shit. Oh my god, he skipped the security detail and he skipped out on us. Oh my god, we can't do our jobs. Yeah, well, you know what? If your job entails just reporting, oh, he likes a steak well done with ketchup, I don't think I care.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't want to go through in circles. My my dogs have to go out, so I probably have to close down the stream soon. But is there anything you want to mention before we close the stream? Anything related to this?
Well, if CNN does somehow, like listen to this, or if people link this stream to CNN or any other media source, like just keep in mind that like we're just some dumbasses that work 9 to 5 regular jobs, and if we have the time to fucking go through court documents and stuff to give accurate representations as well as our own opinions on certain things, you guys should be able to do that too, because CNN and other places like them, like MSNBC and Fox News, I would assume they have people dedicated to actually researching certain shit. I'm not asking the main, hosts or anything like Tom Brokaw or anything like that to fucking uh, go down and research it themselves. But holy shit, they can at least have someone do some in-depth research to give them accurate information. But if all they're interested in is just making shit up and lying just to get their bottom line as happy as possible, then fuck off. You deserve everything you're getting right now. That's all I gotta say.
Fair enough. I think we pretty much covered it. We're gonna probably continue talking about media in the future, but I just wanted to make a short stream on like what's been happening lately within the media, and just wanted to do a stream, not like a longer video on this. So I think we pretty much covered everything. Unless there's any questions, no.
Nope.
Bye.